Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Aware and Care, your weekly prescription from Dr. Ambika Nair, who's the Chief Consultant and co-founder at Shantigram Group of Companies. They have offices across the globe and also they do virtual consultation. For more details, you can always visit the website and the number that will be scrolling on the screen. Let's welcome Dr. Ambika Nair to the show first. Namaskaram, Doctor.
Namaskaram.
Dr. Nair, we have, I don't know how many situations and symptoms and health conditions we have covered, but that is the beauty of this body that we are gifted with, that it is born with certain symptoms and certain conditions, and certain we develop over the time. Now, let's also go to the starting phase of when a baby is born. The first thing anybody looks at the baby is, the body is fine and all the health conditions are fine. And the first glimpse that comes to us, people go in awe is about the hair. Many babies are born with hair, some are growing hair at a later point. But we also notice the children, as they are growing up, they're losing a lot of hair. And off late, we are seeing this condition a little more. Parents are more and more concerned about thinning of the hair, little bald patches. And I think it's called alopecia areata, especially in children. So today, let's cover that in this episode. I do understand that alopecia areata has two phases. One is which occurs in the childhood and one which is in adulthood. In some other episode, we will cover the adulthood, but today let's take the childhood episodes.
Oh, very nice subject you have given me. Good.
It is a very concerning topic, Dr. Nair, because hair, they say, is a crowning glory. And as much as today the world is talking, not giving importance to the physical body, but the soul and mind. But your physical appearance does play a little role somewhere. And especially when it comes to children, I think the pressure is more from the parents and concern is more from the parents. Let's talk about what this condition is, why it happens.
Yeah, alopecia, or it is called balding. Okay. It is actually normally, it refers to the loss of hair from a part of the body, mostly on the head. Commonly, we can see it is involved with the head, but in the severity of the hair loss can be from a very small area to even it spreads to the entire body also. So it is the inflammation or scarring of hair follicle, or it may sometimes scarring may not be there. But in some people, psychological distress, but we cannot say that what psychology the child will be having, but the causes, the stress, what see, like not only the newborn, you can see the school-going children, that so many children come to me also with, like alopecia. That is very common these days. I actually at present itself, I have more than like 14, 15 cases running with me actually.
What age group are they?
They are like one is like a 6-year-old, like 6 to 5 and 6. That is around 6, 7 children. Other is like below 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a permanent condition, or it is only affecting during childhood or teenage years?
No. That can like not only some it all depends upon the case whether it will be permanent or whether it will be changing. Okay. So, like sometimes it can be, like a telogen effluvium where the thinning of the hair is the feature. You can see that only thinning, then they lose the hair, like so. So whether we have to see whether it is, what pattern it is, whether it is male pattern, whether it is female pattern, like then whether it is alopecia, like the really losing. Like we call it as Indralupta, like or telogen. So these are all the diagnosis. So in Ayurveda, we will be telling whether it is related with the Pitta, Vata, Kapha, but mostly it will be like all the three doshas will be involved in this actually.
So in very few cases, babies are born with this condition, or as they're growing up because of stress and other physiological conditions, they develop this?
No, but children will not be, but very little. But some, like once they are born, like after a few days, you can see some skin infections will be there. It can be with, like even atopic eczema I have seen. Okay. So, like the root cause has to be, like ruled out. That is more important actually. Whether the mother has any thyroid issues, there are so many, like common causes are there also,
So let's talk about this particular aspect only from the children. I know our viewers must be very anxious to know about adulthood also. Well, that is a different topic. So let's catch it at the grassroots levels. So alopecia areata, when it starts in childhood, what is the timeline frame apart from the body? You feel that this is curable, this is treatable, manageable?
Yeah, because actually, if you see, like brown spots, so then it will not be, the hair growth will not be possible actually in certain cases. Whether they have like, see, we have to see like whether they have like iron deficiency, is there any malnutrition, whether the child is having any stress, like, like a psychiatric cases, like then chemotherapy they have taken, whether they have any other, HIV or AIDS or anything like that. Yeah, so that's what I told, like we have to see whether whether they have any medical condition.
Now, there is traditionally back home in the subcontinent, there is tonsuring of the hair where their first year's hair is removed. And sometimes parents notice that after that, the hair is not growing back, or they notice that they tend to do that. There is always a myth that is associated. We are not talking about the religious and cultural significance of it because we don't touch that topic. We're just talking from the medical point of view. So when they notice that the first year the hair was very good, the child was born with very good hair. But when it comes to the third year or fourth year, they say the hair is not growing. It has started to thin. Now, apart from nutrition and psychological factors, now at 3 years and 4 years, what kind of psychological factors could be affecting the child?
See, maybe like the parents are leaving the child for the daycare, and the one who is taking care of the child may be torturing the child, and may not be sleeping properly. You cannot say that nutrition will be very good. We have to find out.
That's a very good point. You mentioned that we do not know what factors outside, external in the school, daycare, sports, or in the friends group is affecting the child. And apart from that, these conditions at a very early age, if they are diagnosed, can be treated and can be held. There is also this myth that within the first year of alopecia, if you get all the remedies in place, it can still be manageable. Right, doctor?
It can be manageable. There is no problem like that because we have like our cases are like they improve very fast actually. There is no problem.
Yeah, you just mentioned
you can see in children, some ways their teething is delayed. So their calcium absorption is very, very less. And even in the fontanelle, you can see normally by 1.5 years, it has to be like, like it has to be little thick so that it has to be covered actually. But, like that, these are the milestones, There are so many, when they come, we see that when they are very young, oh, doctor, it is going like this. So we see the root cause actually.
So let's talk about the treatment options that are available for the kids. And kids this young, like you just mentioned, with due respect to the patients that are coming, they're as young as 5 and 6 years. Do they understand the importance or the significance of the treatment and how it's going to help them?
Definitely. Because especially children, then because it's very like a 4 or 5 year under, they don't bother. But we will tell, see, we will take the, the children, parents will bring the photograph only. So they will be showing like that. Oh, you don't have hair over here, then we make them understand, that little bit, they will go, when you grow, otherwise you will become bald like that. We have to threaten them also a little bit. So that is not like psychologically. Okay. Yes. So making them understand. So I use the word threaten. It's not like threatening them, but making them understand. Okay. So, like what line of treatment, what we do, like if it is like some children, that they are very hyper and their hair is very thin. And so this is especially with the Pitta and Vata. So, like, so those children, that especially we will be doing, we give them like Snehapanam. And they will feel much better with that. So absorption will be there. Some days they vomit, emesis will be there. Virechana has to be done for them. Okay, then, like very special treatments, if it's kapha related, we will be seeing that nasya will be done for them. That is the beautiful panchakarma what we do for them. And, like Shiro Lepam, that we'll be putting in application of oil in a different way, like we'll be putting on the head. And certain cases, Shirodhara with all the medication we'll be doing it. And that is all like a medicated like Vata Shirodhara will be there. Sometimes, like even Tailadhara will be given, Shiropiju is given. So these all, and like then we'll be giving them, like Rasayana Chikitsa, counseling is given. There's so many things we'll be doing for them. And their diet, what don'ts, whether we have to see how it happen, whether some days the mother may be having, like other issues, father may be having some issues, like genetic issues also. Yeah, so that has to be addressed.
Very nice. So yes, as doctor is mentioning, children very young also understand the importance of this particular treatment that is provided at Shantigram or any other clinic where alopecia areata is treated. But it starts with a lot of psychological counseling and assurance to the child that whatever is being done is done for their comfort and for their healthy personality. Now, Dr. Nair, we're talking about the treatment options there. What are the concerns that come to you when treating small children? What is it that major you have seen?
Like they will be using, like especially all these using of chemicals, overusing of the shampoos, never keeping the head clean, like a dandruff will be there, sometimes seborrhea. So the root cause has to be addressed.
Okay.
So whether they apply oil here, in US, these children doesn't like to apply apply oils.
Okay.
So, like then we have to make them understand, that medicated oil, or they can use even coconut oil. It is very, very nice to apply, and, like it improves, like it improves the hair growth actually. And according to the, like condition itself, we have a very special oils. Bringamulagi is there. So many other oils are there, even for the dandruff, like maybe some cases are like within 3 months, you can see the improvement very fast.
So is there something called a seasonal alopecia that you see that during certain season of the year or time of the year, children are
that,
losing
like during especially now the winter, because the dryness causes. So that can be taken care very fast. That is only like a temporary aspect.
So what about pollution factors? Do they also affect hair loss?
Of course, stress, pollution, everything. So that's it. We have to pamper our hair very nicely. You can always, like aloe vera in India and all, like we always use at least once in a week.
Okay.
Okay, so aloe vera now gel is available. Otherwise, you can buy it and apply on, like and yogurt is washing the hair with the yogurt is very good, and with the egg white, very nice. Even whole egg can be used.
Doctor, you just mentioned aloe vera. Now there are types of aloe vera, or anybody who has a plant at home can also try that aloe vera and work on it, or it's something specific medicated?
No, you can use the aloe vera what we are having at home. That is good.
So you just apply that gel on the hair and just wash it off.
Yeah, wash it.
Wow, this is such a simple and easy home remedy to start with. But of course, get yourself first checked. Hibiscus, yes. These are traditional hair maintenance products.
We have, like using of shampoo, actually using of chemicals, because it will affect our, even I'm telling about all of us.
Yes. So let us try to understand that can a child outgrow alopecia, or does it come as phases that 2 years the child is fine, then again the 3rd year it starts again. There is a pattern for this alopecia.
Pattern, that's what I told you. We have to see how it looks. Whether it is thinning, whether any spots are there, whether any scarring is there. All these things we have to see that.
When you said scarring, are you talking about external scarring or a follicle?
External.
External. So you mentioned about the brown spots. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is hope there, and parents who are watching this episodes and understanding about alopecia areata, try not to get over-the-counter products to style your hair or the child's hair to cover the patch, because it's at an early phase. It can be treated, cured, and precautions can be taken at Shantigram, as like Dr. Nair has just been mentioning. Any other dietary concerns that you want to share with parents?
Yeah, black sesame seed.
What do we do with that?
Actually, it is very good. You can make laddu and give to the children. That's a jaggery and all.
Black sesame seeds laddu.
Yeah, black sesame seed. Actually, it is very nice.
Very interesting. Okay, and this can be taken on daily basis, like a sweet or like
Why not? Little bit, not like so much. At least, like 2 pieces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Nair, they say the sesame seed also generates heat in the body, but when you talk about black sesame seed, can you just give a little more details about this particular grain?
See, we are not consuming like a half kilo or anything like that. No, we are using maybe like a 10 grams.
Okay. So I think how to make the black sesame laddu with jaggery can definitely be checked on YouTube and any other grandmother's remedies from home.
Everybody will know it.
So, Dr. Nair, what are the dietary concerns do you have for children, especially with alopecia areata? What should be avoided in their diets?
See, we have to see their nail also, whether, see, lines will be observed on the, so it shows that her calcium is not observed. We have to see whether the children are having, whether parathyroid issues, so that the absorption of calcium will not be hindered. So, medical issues has to be taken, why it is happening, where they went wrong. So we have like a very special medications also, and we tell them what to do with the diet, everything, and the children improve a lot.
Okay. Now, Dr. Nair, how can a parent help a child with alopecia? Because socially it becomes a difficult situation to handle, and hats, caps, scarves for sports activities, other activities are definitely a little bit hindered. And like once again, we want to reiterate in this program that physical appearance is not the aspect that we're talking about. We're talking about a healthy body and mind. So to keep that wholesome here, we're taking some tips and suggestions from Dr. Ambika Nair. So Dr. Nair, how can parents and the support family?
Actually, they should always think that the child is not only with the hair, the child will be perfectly all right. Because when they indulge in other activities and in studies and everything. So hair also, I don't think that it will be a very big social issue. But some children, they get affected because the other children make fun of them. This is the only thing, but I think, like educating the children to get along with other people, that will be fantastic for them.
Okay.
And parents also should not get worried because they should not be depressed. I have seen, like how they grow the hair and cover it and come to me.
Okay. It is a difficult situation, Dr. Nair. I mean, easier said and done. And I'm sure parents who are watching and children who are watching this episode do understand there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of agony for the parents as concern and for the children as young adults. Now, Dr. Nair, I want to understand at this point that is alopecia contagious? And secondly, does alopecia spread into the other part of the body or, in portions of the head?
No, that is actually, it all depends upon what type of alopecia they are having. Sometimes, even not only the hair, like everywhere, the eyebrows and even whole body. I have seen children, when I was practicing Delhi, I have seen like one girl, no hair at all in the body. Yeah, but it was very difficult.
So that can be treated. So those are the completely different stages of alopecia here today. I think we just were talking about the hair on the scalp, but your nails, your skin condition, hair on your arms and legs and body parts also plays an important role. And alopecia is basically covering all these aspects. So when you go to the doctor and talk about your situation, you must mention other concerns and not shy from giving the actual conditions of the body. And apart from that, Dr. Nair and her team is very, very well equipped to understand what's happening inside the body. So Dr. Nair, let's also understand about hair styling gels, and you just mentioned about shampoos. What about these swimmers alopecia? I've heard about this term, but I don't know how much it is true or it's just a seasonal thing that happens, that children who are swimming in very unclean water or more chlorine affected water, they have different kind of hair fall.
See, that they have to take care, because actually chlorine sometimes, because it, like it gives some skin diseases. So that has to be taken care.
Okay.
And cleaning of the, like hygiene, that has to be maintained properly. Combing the hair has to be done.
So Dr. Nair, once the treatment has happened and you see a little hair growth happening in the child or young adult, do they continue with the treatment on?
They will. I will make them understand also what are they can do it too. See, Madhavi, hair, nails, skin, bone, teeth, everything is under one group only. Okay.
Okay.
So these all the, like Asti Dhatus. So, like it has to be taken care. So that's why, because that is related with the parents, whether it is genetic disorder or whether it is, some deficiency of the child has to be taken. You can see, somebody with a very dry skin. Even in psoriasis, you can see that how the hair fall will be there.
Okay.
So this, everything has to be addressed in the proper way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I come to a very tricky question. I think we've mentioned this many times before. Now, there is a child, let's assume there's a child at a very young age who's come with alopecia. You have to help the child heal. And the hair is growing back. 4 or 5 years down the line, again, the child faces the same situation. And many times parents think, or most of us think, that the medicines which were prescribed earlier can be used again. We just want our patients to know, or our viewers to know, sometimes those medicines don't work again because the body composition changes. Please add on that.
Madhavi, it is a very good question. Actually, I have like 2 cases just now. Okay. So like 2 weeks back, they came back because actually I have treated them. And I told them, because actually if the child is having any issues, you should come back to me only. Okay. But they were, they thought that it will be perfectly okay, little reluctant to come. No idea why. Okay. Now, like, because that child had, like eczema. That was also weeping eczema.
Wow.
Okay. So from the head, so all the hair were matted, then it started going, then alopecia came. Like when I, like it was like, because his sugar level also went very high.
Oh, okay.
So I was the one who told them, like you go and, check your sugar level, because I saw certain things, when I checked his nadi. Then, like, so what I gave at that time, it was not working. Then, like I always make them understand, as they grow, they need to be attended in a different way.
True.
So now the child is doing very well.
That's very nice to know. So once again, we iterate the fact that medications which were working for you 2 years ago, and I'm sure it happens in all kinds of treatments and medicines which was even antibiotics people use, it's not the same antibiotic for any kind of other infection. It changes. So please do not experiment with the leftover medicines that you have from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and try to experiment on the child or yourself. There is a fresh diagnosis which is required. And it's not that very difficult and expensive, because once you just go and meet Dr. Nair, most of the times she's always giving you home remedies which you can do with the comfort of your home. Doctor, in the talk we were talking about Nasyam. So Nasyam is always done at the clinic under supervision, or you teach the child or the parent that they can do it at home?
No, after certain Nasyams we will not give them at home. Certain things that's what a homework we give them. I always tell you have a lot of homework. So that homework, we teach them how to do Nasyam at home, and we provide them oil also. Okay. And they really follow, and like we can see a lot of changes in the children also. So and
I'm having a doubt here. So basically the Nasyam oil changes for different kind of treatments, right?
Yes.
Okay. So despite being
how to reach the brain, how to reach the brain only through the nose. So there are so many types of Nasyams.
Okay.
So what oil will be, the procedure will be the same, but like oil will be different according to each disease actually.
The composition changes. Okay, great.
100%.
Okay. So in today's episode, we were talking about alopecia areata. There's not too much of concern there. It can be treated. It can be managed if you go to the doctor at the right time. And we're talking about childhood because that's when all the changes happen in the body. Now, Dr. Nair, we spoke about stress factors, reading, walking, pranayam, exercise, music. We've tried everything. I think it's all part of our life today and the lifestyle also. Yet we see our children being so stressed. I think it's also because of performance anxiety about, school, studies, sports and other things. So we need to calm the children and make them realize this is just part of life. And I think more than that, parents have to realize.
Counseling
is there. Thank you so much.
So beautifully we take care of them actually, because this much stress, they can always, giving them confidence, bringing them out, from the situation. So that's one of the reasons, like so many children come to us by telling, we have no interest in studying because parents will be very busy with their work. So the care has to be given, especially when they are growing.
Right. So friends, as parents, we've made mistakes. As adults, we've made mistakes somewhere down the line. Maybe somewhere the information that was passed to us was wrong. There is always a restart point in life where we can correct ourselves and start to learn and help the next generation. I made certain mistakes, and I'm sure you've made certain mistakes. Let's all together correct them and help our children grow into healthy bodies, mentally and physically. Thank you so much, Dr. Nair, on today's episode on alopecia areata. And if you have any concerns that we have not covered, and there are aspects that we cannot complete in a small program like this, for that you just need to go and meet Dr. Ambika Nair, who's available for online consultation as well in person. Thank you so much, Dr. Nair. I look forward to the next episode with you on Aware and Care.
Thank you so much.
Please like, share, and subscribe this episode. And whenever there's a new episode coming up, you're the first person to watch it and share with your friends. Thank you.